249. Let's get to the first bonus review, which is Zombieland from 2009. It's directed by Ruben Fleischer, stars Jesse Eisenberg, Emma Stone, Woody Harrelson, Abigail Breslin, Amber Heard, Bill Murray. And the synopsis is: a shy student trying to reach his family in Ohio, a gun-toting bruiser in search of the last Twinkie, and a pair of sisters striving to get to an amusement park join forces in a trek across a zombie-filled America. I remember vividly when this one came out. It was a massive blowout hit. It became, I think it still is, a favorite zombie movie by a lot of people. The dialogue was something that was overly referenced in conversation, at least in my circles. I had people constantly quoting Woody Harrelson, like "nut up" or "shut up" and all the rules of the zombie world, that kind of thing. So it was a big stamp in pop culture at the time, and I think it's had a shelf life. We'll get to the sequel, but this first one was probably one of the best zombie films since Shaun of the Dead in terms of at least a popularity success. I've seen it many, many times over the years. It's easily watchable. It's one of those films that's always on TV, but I hadn't rewatched it in its entirety for at least a handful of years now. I think it still holds up quite well, and what made it all get off to a good start is that opening credits. Those were the most epic, awesome opening credits for a movie like this that I had ever seen. With the slow-mo, all of the crazy blood and makeup effects, the different situations of zombies chasing after people, the Metallica song, like it's an iconic opening that still rocks, and I think has been in some ways influential over the years in other similar films. Some other strong notes, though: the main success of the movie, I think, comes from the characters. It does feel, I mean, there's not much plot in it at all. The four leads are all charismatic. This was a good time for Jesse Eisenberg. I think Social Network came out right around this same time, so he was king of the world then. This is definitely one of Woody Harrelson's more memorable roles, at least in a blockbuster form. Emma Stone and Abigail Breslin were both breaking out. The choice to name all the characters on different locations, like states and cities, that's very clever. It is easy to remember those names and who everyone is. It's written by the screenwriters of Deadpool, so that kind of makes sense. Same kind of style. I love everything with the rule book of how to survive a zombie apocalypse, like cardio, beware bathrooms. Like, it's all stuff that makes sense. You know, it's not stuff that's so ridiculous or far-fetched that it's not easy to understand. If you followed those rules, you'd probably do okay, all considering, if there was an actual zombie apocalypse. The zombie kill of the year, when they flash back to someone orchestrating a very clever zombie kill. The quest for Woody Harrelson's character to get a Twinkie. I mean, it's funny in the movie, but that was another, at least for me, very over-referenced thing. Every time someone mentioned a Twinkie, Zombieland was brought up. The opening sequence with Jesse Eisenberg and Amber Heard, there's so many great moments. Like, for one, Jesse Eisenberg wanting to be able to brush the hair out of a girl's face and like behind her ear, or when she does become a zombie, sticks her bloody tongue through the shower curtain in the bathroom when he's trying to push her off and she bleeds that black blood onto him. Or the breaking of the ankle, him throwing the bathroom items like toilet paper and cotton balls at her is really good physical comedy. And all that being said, going back to Shaun of the Dead, that works very much as a comedy. Like, you could call it a comedy, and I would agree. But you could also call it a horror film, and I would agree. This movie is sort of in that same vein, maybe more comedy than horror. But it's able to fairly consistently combine and mix those genres well enough to make it feel very well-rounded. There's a character in there for everyone in one way or the other. There's a lot of easily relatable things with personalities, their personal issues. When Jesse Eisenberg and Woody Harrelson first meet the sisters and they trick them, the sequence with Bill Murray, it is funny. Maybe at this point a little tired with that kind of cameo, but the fact that they kill Bill Murray accidentally of all people, and he says before he dies that he wanted to make himself look like a zombie to fit in. Bill Murray, unlike anyone else, is able to make that funny and feel genuine and not eye roll as it could easily be. The final sequence when they're at the amusement park and they get stuck on the ride that shoots them up and down, and the zombies are waiting for them at the bottom, and they have to kick their legs up and shoot them as they're going down, and there's that time limit of when they may be bitten or endangered at least. Also, in terms of the movie feeling well-rounded, the emotional beats hit. For example, the Woody Harrelson thing of his dog and then his daughter, that loss and him not wanting to reveal what actually happened. Like, that's a earnest moment in a movie that doesn't really need that, but it's effective. When they find the Hummer, the fear of clowns of Jesse Eisenberg's character, and then they see the zombie clown at the end. Like, there's really good callbacks, and say what you will about all the pop culture references and the mentions of a certain brand, like a well-known brand. If it works, it works, and at least they present it in a way that doesn't feel inauthentic. Like, these are all things that people like, and especially in the case of a zombie apocalypse, would try and find. So overall, very solid movie. Would for sure be one of my favorites. Maybe top 5 favorite zombie movies of all time. That one is a heavy 4 out of 5.